side fought her way to earn this opportunity. There is zero doubt about it. That matchup with Dani Luna in particular, a very hard-hitting affair, but she's got to roll right into this match. And her opponent, her friend, her partner, no stranger to hitting hard herself. One of the best strikers, as we've often said, in the entire Knockouts division, the champ, Lei Ying.
Xia Brookside feels right at home here in Texas. She felt right at home here in TNA Wrestling virtually from the beginning, starting back in 2024. Very quickly earned a TNA World title shot. Is now back in the mix. Can she capture the title at the expense of her best friend?
There is a different energy to Lei Ying. She's normally so stoic in those opening moments of her entrance. There's an extra glimmer, there's an extra smile on her face, walking out here as a defending Knockout World Champion. You saw how emotional she was after that match at Gold Rush. This means the world to Lei Ying.
Lee came to this country nearly 8 years ago, knowing very little about professional wrestling. Had to learn the English language, learn a whole new country, make friends, discover this business. And after all these tireless years of work, she has finally come to this moment. A championship defense here at Final Resolution.
Following contest is scheduled for one fall. And it's for the TNA Knockouts World Championship. Introducing first the challenger from Liverpool, England, Xia Brookside. And her opponent from Chongqing, China, she is the TNA Knockouts World Champion, Lei Ying.
The TNA Knockouts World Championship for nearly 2 decades has been the most consistent representation of opportunity in women's wrestling. And that is exactly what Lei Ying is all about. She took advantage of a tremendous opportunity 2 weeks ago at NXT Gold Rush. The former 3-time TNA Knockouts World Champion Jordynne Grace, then the reigning champion Kalani Jordan, a triple threat matchup. She won the championship and now has to stand across the ring from her friend Xia Brookside. You can see how emotional these two are.
I mean, I often will say it, there's a lot of smoke, mirrors, and storytelling we do in this business, but these two are very, very real friends. This is a very, very real moment and matchup for them. But this, at the end of the day, you're going to have to hit your friend, you're going to have to lock up, toss your friend around, you're going to have to pin your friend's shoulders to the mat if you want to leave as champion.
How difficult is it to fight your friend and make that decision to finish the matchup?
I mean, look, you're in the wrong business if you can't do it. This is the ultimate compartmentalization. The minute you step through those ropes, or at least the minute that bell rings, you have to be all business. You have to switch on a dime because everything counts on it. Oh, look out here.
Shoulders down. Lee trying to retain early here against Brookside. Brookside, we saw how technically gifted she is, especially last night on Impact, defeating Dani Luna to officially earn this title shot. That was a technical masterpiece up front, and then you saw how Dani Luna progressively got more and more vicious, more violent.
This matchup could prove to be similar, while with less malice involved. It could be a similar clash of styles. I mean, I'm going to give the champion the advantage. Striking, of course. Strength, though, as well. I would give to Lei Ying Li. Xia's going to once again have to rely on her speed, her agility, and technical acumen in this matchup.
Lei Ying Li does have a background in mixed martial arts, has gone into that space this year and been successful. Can apply that here in a wrestling ring, but the work that she's put in over 8 years, you got to see a lot of it firsthand at one point. What has this journey been like for her?
I mean, you said it in the beginning. Not just learning wrestling, learning everything. As Xia Brookside, very confident, even offering the hand to her opponent tonight.
And making friends in a business where not many make friends.
Look, I'm here to make money, not make friends.
Yes.
All right? So quit asking me out and hang out after the shows. But you are correct. It is a very hard business to do that in. To learn a language, to learn a skill, and to learn how to make friends in a country that you've never been and never lived in. It is an entire life that Lei Ying Li had to change, had to grow, had to learn. And she did that and then some.
Brookside going for the crossbody, caught by Lei Ying Li.
Got a good counter work there from Brookside. Whoa, same idea.
Very even between Lee and Brookside.
And the respect still very much there. Still some smiles even in this, but at some point, rubber meets the road in a matchup like this.
Two women from worlds away coming together here for the richest prize in women's wrestling in TNA. This is what it means to be a knockout.
A lot of respect from the crowd here in El Paso for the show being put on here, but the skill being put on display between these two. I mean, the flip side of the coin I was making about that compartmentalization. One thing I've found here in wrestling is sometimes you hit your friends, you hit your brothers and sisters, even harder than you hit your enemies.
Drop kick there by Lee.
And so far, outside of a couple of kicks, maybe a forearm, I got to notice, I mean, nobody's balled up a fist and punched the other one. That's usually my adage. You got to punch your friend in the face, but they've kept this one pretty clean and cut and dry.
Great sportsmanship, great respect shown between these two. Off the top crossbody from Brookside. Trying to win the title, kick out at 1 by the champion. Think about all the great knockouts that have come before Brookside and Lee, the champions. Like, Hall of Famers Gail Kim, Mickey James, Awesome Kong, Angelina Love, plus Tara, Taya Valkyrie, Deonna Purrazzo, aforementioned Jordan Grace. What a legacy.
We're here to retain the title, no.
Kick out there by Xia Brookside.
An absolutely incredible, untouchable legacy, in women's wrestling.
Snap suplexers to cover, trying to hold on to the title, kick out.
And now you can feel it start to sink in. Now this match is really settling into its pace, into its groove. The back and forth, the kind of testing each other period is done. We are down into the nitty-gritty of this matchup.
Great crowd on here in El Paso, Texas, live at Final Resolution, our last TNA Plus live special to conclude a historic 2025 for this company.
Brookside working her way up, able to break free here. Gonna have to have an answer for everything, and if there's anybody who does, it is Xia Brookside, who has an answer for everything Lei Ying Li can throw at her. Look at the strength. Wait.
Trying to hold on to Brookside. Brookside might take the title here. Kick out at 2.
Wait.
Look at Brookside caught up here by Lee.
What a counter to the kick. Collapsing right onto that knee, right onto the leg and the thigh of Xia Brookside. That was nasty.
Xia Brookside in a world of pain.
Entrapped dead center of the ring, right across those 3 special letters. TNA, the brand she's fighting to represent as champion right now.
Xia Brookside, can she get to the bottom rope and break up the submission? Lee drags Brookside closer to the middle of the ring.
Look at now turning it
The STF.
and transitioning into a straight crossface is Laying Lee. Ripping and tearing all the way. Look out.
Shoulders down and a kick out.
That's been Zaya's game in this one, to have a counter, have a roll up.
Oh, go for
Look
the
out.
crucifix. Finally gets the shoulders down and a kick out.
To counter these power moves, these strikes of Lee.
This is a takedown. There goes Lee to the opposite side of the ring.
Now can Brookside shake it off, get back into the fight.
First time ever these two have gone one-on-one. The Angel Warriors doing battle against each other for the Knockouts World Championship.
Open palms of Lee. Look out! Went for the kick.
Cover and a kick out.
Brookside's had a lot of answers here for Laying Lee.
Let's go!
Fired up. Now looking to pick up where she left off earlier. Boom!
Broken wings, the double knees in the corner. Side Russian leg sweep. Zaya Brookside trying to win the Knockouts World title and a kick out.
Came close there, but close ain't good enough. Not when gold is on the line.
Elbows right to the back there by Lee, trying to create a little bit of separation, some breathing room.
Look out, wait a second.
The octopus now by Brookside.
Locked in. The neck, the shoulder, wrist and elbow there. Laying Lee being twisted and torn.
Could Laying Lee submit and lose the Knockouts World title in her first defense as champion?
Brookside grasping. Look at the strength of Lee here.
Lee able to break free of Zaya Brookside.
Wait, roll through.
Brookside has a cover, kick out at one. Oh, and a knee right to the side of the face.
Again, Brookside had a roll-up, a counter, but the striking.
Cover hook to the leg, tucks the arm, but the right shoulder up in time.
Lee comes back with a devastating strike. A back and forth, very apropos of the relationship these two share.
Chance for Laying Lee here in El Paso, Texas. The Knockouts World Championship on the line here at Final Resolution.
Now setting up her tag team partner here up in the high rent district. Lee thinking superplex.
Champion and challenger from the top turnbuckle. Superplex by Lee.
That took a lot out of the champion though as well. Did she take advantage? Got the better of that superplex, Tom.
Both after the count of 10, so this match can continue. They have to get up to their feet. The match continues. Our referee, Frank Castano, all over this one.
Oh, wait a second. We've seen this win matches before.
Thinking about that swinging face buster. Oh, nearly connected with it. Brookside knows it coming. Double knees. What a connection.
Huge.
Cover kick out.
What a counter by Brookside. So close to the Knockouts World title. Just another example of how well these two know each other. Here we go.
Hold on. Trying to set up for the Brooksy bomb.
Countered again, that time by Lee.
Lee knew it was coming. Now Brookside up top. Hold on. Oh, tornado DDT.
The champ got planted.
Did Brookside get enough? Can she win the title? Lee out at 2.
Zaya Brookside here has dropped a couple of big hits, a couple of bombs here that should have put it away in many other circumstances. Oh!
See Brookside say, "I'm sorry."
Now this is what it's come down to. These forearm strikes, back and forth, slugging it out here.
It took a while for this matchup to break down to this, Ray Wald, as you mentioned earlier.
But now every matchup will always hit that point up. Wait a second.
Well, Lee was able to block that kick, went for one of her own. Now Brookside trying to surprise Lee, and a kick out at 2.
Another roll-up count.
Oh, the big connection there. Spinning heel kick.
And now it's Lee who says, "I'm sorry" to Brookside.
Once again, Lee has Brookside up on her shoulders. The swinging face buster. Cover. Lee retains against Xia Brookside.
Here is your winner, and still the TNA Knockouts World Champion, Lee.
And you can see there an emotional moment shared between two athletes who have a hell of a lot of respect for each other. And I think even more was earned tonight.
TNA President Carlos Silva, as he did at the theater at Madison Square Garden, tonight here in El Paso at Final Resolution, has the honor of awarding the championship to Laying Lee.
Of course, Lee helping her friend up.
Take a look back at the conclusion of this matchup. This swinging face buster ultimately ended the matchup and helped Laying Lee retain the Knockouts World Championship.
A lot of respect. A lot of love between these two, and it shows. What a matchup. But still your Knockouts World Champion, Lee.